This morning, it is my pleasure to introduce to you the man who is seeking the high office of National Commander of the American Legion. Many of you perhaps have already met him, but please welcome to the 2011 National Membership Workshop, candidate for National Commander, Fang Wong of New York.
Thank you. Please be seated. Thank you, Madam Chairman. Ladies from the auxiliary, welcome. Good morning, Legionnaires. Good morning. Before I start, just want to tell you that I'm not the reason why we're behind yesterday. As far as I'm concerned, is you guys asked too many questions. Get the hint? Anyway, I was told that I need to do this quick. I need to cover everything I need to cover. That's an equation that will never equal. So I will do the best I can, and when the time comes, I need to go. Well, I finished talking, and you're not finished listening. That's your problem, not mine. Okay? Okay. I understand that probably half of you, or more than half of you, really didn't have the benefit of being in the session on Wednesday evening. We have a very good meeting with the commanders and the adjutants. And it's unfortunate that some of the department commanders didn't quite make it on time, and some of the commanders weren't here, so those departments were not represented. I'm going to try to give you a quick rundown what I like to see happen. Year in and year out, we come to this sort of gathering, and with an expectation of establishing a goal for the coming year, which is great. The problem is that year in and year out, at the end of the year, we never have the chance to gather the same group together again and talk about what happened to our goal. Because the following year, there will be another group. Maybe some of you will be back, but then you talk about the goal for next year. And sometimes I look at it and I figure that maybe that's part of our problem, because we don't look back and see how well we achieve certain things or how bad we fall off from the track. And also, it's my belief that fully with the MMPA committee, membership and post-activity committee, we sometimes rely too much on the membership part of it and forgot the post-activity side of it. So this year I decided that maybe we should concentrate a little bit more on the post-activity side. And by doing that, it's not to say that don't bother with the goals anymore. The goals are important. But what you've been doing for the last 10 years on signing up new members or utilizing the DMS members, please continue to do that. However, being that you're all leaders, commanders at various levels, I would like for you to take another step. Take a step looking at internally how well your respected level organizations prepare for our membership, for our organization. It appears that a lot of time, a lot of new members, they don't understand what this organization is all about. We know American Legion is good, because if I join American Legion, they always have barbecue, they always have Friday night dance, they always have happy hours. And we always do community activities. So that's good. And the membership's great. That may very well be true. However, we need to sit down and think about one thing. Is this what American Legion is all about? Is this what our forefathers planned out for us back in 1919? That we do all these nice activities with the community and then we have a good time? Probably not. Probably not. There's something we call the 4 pillars. There's something that we call programs within those 4 pillars. You know, Boy States, oratorical, baseball, and so on and so on. So until the posts are actively involved with those type of activity, certainly you may be very successful. You may be 150% your membership. You're not a true American Legion organization. And this is a time that we need to take a look at it. Nowadays, when we sign up new members, especially this current OIF, OEF generation, you have to understand, they're all 100% volunteer. They volunteer because they want to serve this great nation. They are proud to serve this great nation. So when they sign up, they heard something about the American Legion. Yet when they join, we're not doing the American Legion programs. That's where they feel that, hey, that's not what I signed up for. And if we don't take the time to understand and search and try to correct the situation, I don't blame them for walking, because if they want to join a social entity, they want to join a social club, there are plenty out there. They could have a lot more fun. They don't need to be associated with the Legion and pay the dues and get harassed on a lot of other things. So we need to do something like that. I challenge the commanders that they need to go back and look at their respected department. Try to figure out what happened. One of the reasons is when we have such a gap from Vietnam to OIF, OEF, well, if you recall the Vietnam veterans, a lot of them didn't really join the organization until 20, 30, sometimes 40 years later. And most of the reason could be contributed to the fact that after Vietnam, when they tried to join, we were not very well received by the previous generation, whatever reason. By the time they finally joined the organization, guess what? The World War II generation is getting much older, and a lot of them no longer get involved with the post activities. So when you start joining, we lost the teacher, the mentor, the leader factor that newly joined member seek and rely on. So therefore, if you are someone that show any interest, even if you sign up one day and come to the meeting the next day, you might get elected as a commander. Yeah, I hear that, right? It happens all the time. Now, what do you expect for someone that joined an organization one day and be the commander next week or next month? What do you expect for him or her? Probably not a whole lot. I'm sure they're good people, but I kind of question and doubt how much they know about the organization, how much they know about our history, how much they know the kind of things that we need to do, or how much they know the unique thing that make us different, make us special compared to everybody else. It's not their fault. It's just the way the system works. Now, some of them will take the time to learn. A lot of them will just ride because they're all busy doing things. Who's got time to learn? So therefore, after a couple generations, 5, 10, 15 years, you will see a lot of leaders at department level, sometimes even at the national level, great people, except they may not know what the true American Legion stands for. So sometimes we do good things for the wrong reason. We're not doing the things that require of us, that separate us from the others. So therefore, when people join, they find that you look at the brochure, you look at what we're doing, it doesn't match. So I challenge the commanders that the goals, I set the goals for everybody for next year. I was not going to negotiate on the goal because we don't want to spend time in challenging each other for 5 more or 10 more numbers. What's the big deal? I mean, to be very honest, how many of us actually finish meeting the goal each year? We need to be honest to ourselves. This year, I believe Kentucky is still the first one and the only one that meets 100. And thank you, Mike. So if that's the case, why do you want to spend time and debate? Give me 5 less, give me 5 more, give me 10 more. We're wasting our time. So I would prefer that the commanders come in and tell me their feeling, their ideas of what I discussed on Wednesday evening. And so far, the results have been pretty positive. A lot of you start thinking, at least the one that listen. They start thinking about what I asked them to do. They come in and they said, I thought about this. It's okay, we could disagree. That's the whole idea of sitting down. But when you start thinking, we start learning. We start talking to each other. So it was very, very, I thought it was very rewarding. Again, like I say, some of you asked too much questions. That's why we fall behind. But it's good. It's good. So I want to extend the same challenge to all you. Everybody here is a leader now. Anybody here hasn't been a commander yet? Raise your hand. Boy, I don't know how you got sucked into this meeting then. Somebody get his name, better make him a commander. You are leaders of this great organization. It's you that have to go back and carry the message. You folks have to go back and start talking to your post commanders and said, what are we doing? Are we doing the right thing? Are we doing the wrong thing? If somebody decides not to come back next year, I would like for at least you or your post commander to go up there and ask that person why. If you ask that question, it gives you two opportunities. Number one opportunity, you may actually find out the reason why and actually are able to do something about it and turn it around so that you could save the member and keep him or her with the organization. In the events that the individual decided, I don't care what you're saying, I'm not staying, okay, but at least you learn the reason why. You could share it with everybody else, make sure that we don't do the same mistake again the next time. We lost 1.4 million members within the last 10, 13 years. I kind of wish that we have that 1.4 million answers as to why they're not here. Had we done that earlier, we wouldn't be looking at 2.4, we may be looking at 3 point something. So if you want to play the number game, that's how the number games play. But I believe that we're not here to play the numbers game. We're here to play a serious game, and that is to save this organization. That takes each one of us go back and look at ourselves to see whether or not we truly perform what the American Legion requires us to perform. There are plenty of help. I extended to all the department commanders and adjutants that the national membership team, your national vice commanders, and your national commander, whoever he may be or she may be, is an extension of the support team that work with you. And I think we're only a phone call or emails away. So we need to utilize each other. Now, I know they make up this banner. We serve pride. I visited 48 departments, and I think I probably explained enough time what we serve for pride stands for. However, in the membership arena, we serve with pride takes a little twist. So I might want to explain to you for membership, this program. The pride have changed. We serve with pride as an individual member, as individual legionnaires. We talk about being personal, being professional, being respect, being respond, inform, improve, blah, blah, blah. We serve with pride with membership. I'm talking about we need to create a system that we could monitor, that we could improve on. So we start with the first letter, the P. You need to select the best people. People, that's the key. With the R, we need to go back and research all the data, all the information that's available to you. It's pretty sad if we go from year to year not knowing what happened last year, the year before. If you don't know where you're at and you don't know what you're going to do today, what do you expect for tomorrow? We don't know. So research and get the data is important. Find out where you're at. Find out whatever information that could help you to determine whether or not you could do this way, that way, down the road. So you do the research. After you've done the research, you come up to the I. That's when you try to gather some ideas. How do we change this? Brainstorm. Come up with different way of take care of the problem. D is when you want to develop milestones, and checkpoints through the way. Whatever plan you have to be able to check it at a certain interval to see whether or not you're going the right direction. So you need to develop that. Simple thing, doesn't have to be a rocket science to come up with an equation. Simple thing. And then the E, you go ahead and execute your plan, you monitor, and then by doing that, you go back to the R, because by doing those things at a certain point, you pick up more information. So you build more data. The more data you have, the more narrow of the choice that help you decide. So you do that, and that goes back to the I, the D, and E. It's a continuous cycle. But the key, people, you. So keep that in mind when you go back and talk about we serve with pride. This is the module for membership. Individual members, we'll go back to the other one. Okay, so I wish that I could share with you the presentations on Wednesday night, but unfortunately, I don't have the time. Well, they don't have the time for me. I have the time. And it probably takes about an hour. However, each commander, adjutant, already received a hard copy, and we will provide soft copy to them within next week. So I would ask that you ask your department leadership to share that with you. I would ask that you use it. It's okay if you don't agree with it. If you don't agree with it, I would appreciate it. Let us know, because maybe you will pick up something that we miss, and we could change, and we could inform everybody else. We need to stand by, communicate with each other, to help each other. I don't expect we will receive 3 million members at the end of the year. If I tell you that's the case, I'm lying to you. But I do expect that if anybody decides to walk away from this organization, you or somebody will know why. You or somebody will start working on a solution. How do we keep that person, or how we can make sure that it will never happen again? So I think my time's up. I heard something go off. I'm not sure if that's me or not. But I appreciate the few minutes that I have with you. I look forward to serve you if you allow me to. And if not, have a good year anyway. Thank you very much. God bless you.